more Inside the Green Room. My co-host Harrison Sanford, brought to you by Jack in the Box. Today marks the 2-year mark of us having Inside the Green Room. Man, it's been a hell of a journey. A lot of fun, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of city changing. We started in a classroom in New York to Toronto, nice little setup. Now we're in LA. And today we have us joining my main man, Swish, J.R. Smith, a.k.a. Swish. Legendary shooter, man. You know, obviously been in the league for a long time. Glad to have him back in the league, and not only back in the league, but on my team. So I can learn a lot from him as well. We've always been, I said, growing up since high school, we've always played against each other from afar. We've always, had some rivalries here and there, and always respect each other from afar. We finally get a chance to link up and play together for once throughout the last, 15, 20 years, of playing basketball. So it's been kind of crazy.
Wow. Yeah, Danny, you make a good point there about the connection that you have with JR, and that's something that we're going to talk about as well. We're going to talk about JR, the absence that he had in the league, and now the role that he can play on the team. And to your point that you previously made, yes, thank you to all the fans who've been subscribing, rating, and reviewing for us over the past 2 years. It's been a good journey. When I saw you play basketball in high school and I used to cover you, I did not think that, 14, 15 years later, we'd actually be doing the show together. So it's kind of cool that we've gotten to this point. But now what we do, we interview teammates, we interview other players in the league. And so let's get to J.R. Smith. First and foremost, you guys are in the bubble. What are you guys liking the most about the experience, or something experience that's kind of caught you off guard? I know you get to play basketball again, which is a great thing. But is there anything else about the experience that's kind of been a pleasant surprise?
For me, it's seeing familiar faces. Like Danny and I have been playing, against each other for like 20 years, pretty much. So, being able to, fortunately I'm on this team, but being able to see guys like, Marvin Williams, and being on the team with Dwight and Rondo, and seeing guys like Corey Brewer, and guys I grew up with pretty much throughout my high school days, and it's kind of like being like a 5-star or a big ass 5-star or ABCD camp type situation that you kind of accustomed to and you used to. So it's not really that different for us. I would say obviously it's much more upscale. We get better food and better living conditions than 5-star was, but it's dope. So far so good. I'm having fun.
Yeah. Also, we said I didn't expect them to have as many, I guess, amenities that they have here. Obviously, they're doing a good job of going above and beyond to make us comfortable. But obviously, JR, he's a big golfer, so they give you the opportunity to play golf. We get guys, I guess, fishing, bike riding. I guess they have like a bowling arcade set up. I haven't got a chance to check out the Players Lounge yet, but I'm going to check it out one of these days soon. But they give you the opportunity, to not just play the game and have fun and be with your team, but also get away from it and relax on the sense of, go out and fish and play golf, which has been pretty cool.
I'm sure you guys have seen there's a bunch of hype on Twitter and a bunch of interest in what you guys are eating. Mm-hmm. Real quick, JR, then Danny will follow up. Best item on the quarantine bubble menu?
On a quarantine bubble menu? Like from the league or from outside?
I seen your IG live, and I remember you would read down the menu that first night, and you were it seemed like you were excited about the creme brulee. Did you taste that, or was that anything else?
I ain't get the creme brulee. I got the New York strip though. That joint fire. I ain't gonna hold you. The New York strip is fire. The chicken fingers and fries is fire. You can get those dinner anywhere out here though. What else is like specific though? It's a breakfast spot though on the water. That's fire, bro. This morning, that shit was rocking.
Yeah, I wake up just for that because every other breakfast. The one thing that I doubted here, the dinner's always been solid, and our team usually take care of us sometimes. Sometimes we'll eat some Morton's or Del Frisco's or Joe's Crab Shack, but also there's a menu here. So dinner's been consistently solid, and the league gives us some decent meals for dinner, and lunch is kind of breakfast though. When we go down there for breakfast, that's been the shaky part. So Randy Mims he's obviously Bron's right hand. He's the one that put me on, so shout out to him for finding a breakfast spot. They serve some really good breakfast and pancakes. He knows I'm a big pancake guy. But I think it's called Three Bridges, and it's like right in the middle of the water. It kind of floats. He goes, "The restaurant's floating in the middle of the water. You need to go there. They got the pancakes for you." So that's the spot for breakfast. But the menu's been solid, man. It's got a lot of good options. I think it's the difference is the presentation of it. So everything comes in like containers, and everybody's like, because you have to heat it up in the microwave or refrigerate it. So it's a little different than eating it on a plate. It doesn't look as nice, but the food is good. It's solid. I can't complain at all. I had a time where I was out the league. I remember what it was like. How did the change affect you mentally? Especially because we know skill wasn't the issue. What were some of the things that you were going through mentally and emotionally, knowing that you had the skill to be in the league?
I mean, just mentally, I was in a state of just straight depression. I couldn't play the game that I love at the highest level that I'm accustomed to playing, like being on the outside looking in. Like I've never been without the game of basketball, and especially when it comes to a point where you're not hurt or you're not, suspended or anything like that. So it's just nobody, and the fact that nobody wants you, and not the fact that you're not talented enough. And it's just like nobody wants you because of the quote unquote type of person you are. But other than one stint, everybody, like everywhere I've been, everybody quote unquote loves me. I'm a great guy. Show them, who I really am, and it's just that one bad apple that just carries you.
For sure.
It's unfortunate, but it just is what it is. But at the time, I was going through it because I would see guys and work out against guys and play guys, and it'd be GMs, coaches, and everything. And flat out, I just dogged this kid in your whole workout that you just came to come see, and just walk out the gym with nothing. Like you don't think twice to call. You know what? I gotta call the GM, man. Listen, we got it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just when you can't even get that. That's when you just feel like you hit rock bottom, because it's just like no matter what, you're not good enough, and it's not. Again, it's not your game is not good enough. You as a person aren't good enough.
Which is crazy. That's crazy. Because I said everybody throughout the league knows what kind of guy you are and what type of person you are. And it said that all it takes is one person to spread a word about one bad incident, and it's crazy how they hold that over your head for so long. They look for reasons. Instead of trying to put you back in, they look for reasons to kind of keep you out, which is kind of crazy. It's so hard to get back. But congratulations on getting back, man. I'm glad that you're back. You know what I'm saying? So when you got the news, how did you celebrate, even though it's quarantine?
Honestly, I celebrated, went to the gym. I was working out with Chris Johnson for 8 months, 9 months straight. Like just I would go home, see my kids for the weekends and for their birthdays and stuff. Then I would come right back to LA and be just grinding sometimes 2-3 times a day. And when I got the call that it was like an actual thing, because I stopped calling them. Like I stopped calling Rich, and I just like I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to keep hearing the negative. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, the such and such said this, but we're gonna see. Then it don't happen, and you call them back, and nothing going on. You following up. It's just like, you know what? If it do happen, then they just gonna have to call me. You know what I'm saying? So.
Eventually, you just was tired of hearing the negative news, so he was like, "Well, I'll hear from them when they get some news."
Whenever they get ready to, to actually do something, then that's.
Were you at a point where you almost gave up?
Yeah, for sure, because it was like I'm spending all this time on my love of the game and my passion. Am I giving up this time to spend with my kids? You know what I'm saying? Because I got 4 little girls, and obviously, men, especially African-American men, are very impactful in, our kids' lives, especially girls. So it's like, am I being selfish? And it's not like I need the money. obviously made enough money and everything else. But then it was to the point to where my daughter was like, "No, Daddy, I want to see you play again." And I was like, that was the one thing I needed to hear, to just be like, "Oh no, that's it."
That's dope, man. That's dope. So it's crazy that you speak of that, because the next question I'm about to ask you, you're out of league for so long, and you finally get the call, and then they tell you got to leave your family for 3 months, possibly 3 months. Was there any doubt in your mind, like, maybe I should sit this one out, or maybe, I'm saying, wait till next season, or was any doubt that you were like, maybe this isn't the right situation to me leaving my daughters at this moment?
No, for me, because I know that their mother is unbelievable, and we have a great. My parents are around. We have a great support system with that, and especially with FaceTime and technology. And I mean, my two 11-year-olds, they're not gonna miss it. I don't think. It's 3 months, so my 2 and 3-year-old, they won't remember it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like I don't think it's that bad for, like, as far as the family. One thing I was thinking, it wasn't gonna happen more because of the social issues and stuff like that, but obviously it didn't. So it was just, I don't know.
When you're able to bring the family, are you gonna bring them in?
My oldest daughter wants to come, but I don't think so, because it's like once they told us, we had that meeting today, and it was telling us how much the quarantine, how many days and stuff like that. I don't think my daughter could do it.
For sure. And I have been meaning to ask the league and ask questions, because it doesn't really make sense for you to bring anybody outside of, like, your significant other.
Right.
Because I don't even think that your family are able to attend the games. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they would just be here just with you and locked up in a room to see you. The only person to really make that sacrifice to be locked in a room is probably your wife, girlfriend, et cetera.
Right.
Bring kids, your dad, pops, and moms in them for rooms that you have to pay for, and, what I'm saying, to cover everything they're doing. It doesn't really make sense to bring them to not be able to watch or attend games. I may be incorrect on that, but I'm still circling back to figure out what the information is on people and family attending games when they do come. So
yeah, and it's like, what's the activities for the kids? What are we gonna have for the kids to come? I mean, I got 4. I got 2 babies, and then I got 2 big girls. It was like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna ride a bike in this little circle and call it lovely? Like, that's not good enough for kids, believe it or not.
Yeah,
a little iPad and all that shit get boring for them too.
Especially because girls don't really play video games as much. I don't know if yours do, but they only have the arcade game for the kids, and it's decent, but it's it's
right.
not the like a jungle gym or a bunch of stuff they can do. It's just a small little area with some games on it. But
at the end of the day, it's not a kid friendly environment, and it's nobody's fault. It's just, it is what it is. We're here to play the games, and
for sure.
Again, like there's significant others, and other than that, and maybe somebody's brothers or something like that, is too much, but not enough. I don't think it's enough reasoning for for it right now.
Yeah.
JR, you alluded to it, the conversations you had with Rich Paul from Clutch about not wanting to hear bad news. So back in January, when you had that workout for the Lakers, it seemed as if they could go 2 routes and go with somebody who's seen as more of a playmaker like Dion Waiters, or somebody like yourself who's more known as a 3-and-D type of player. When you went into that workout and you found out that you didn't get the opportunity, can you describe your emotions there? Because you, as a smart basketball player, I'm sure you can identify maybe where the Lakers needed more help versus another side, or were you just, regardless of the situation, you had a chance to work out for the team and you wanted that opportunity and you were impacted by that?
I was definitely impacted by that, but more than anything, for me, it was just like people don't really know my game. They still just put me in the box of a catch and shoot person who just plays defense. I mean, I've been creating plays. If you really watch me play, it's not like I just sit there and shoot threes. I drive to the paint, I kick and get people open, I create plays. It's not just trying to shoot step back jumpers and tough shots. Is that the highlights that you see? Yeah, 100%. But just what I do isn't glorified, because I got I've been playing the last well, pretty much my whole career, I've had a hell of a man in front of me who could do a hell of a lot more shit that the people want to see. So you don't really get to see that, you know. So then it's fine. I mean, I fell into my role, and that's whatever that is to be. But if the team isn't, if the team feel like they want to get a playmaker who's somebody like a Dion, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But I don't take it personal as a player. It's just I take it personal more as the state of that label as a player. Like I don't want to being a label just a 3-and-D guy is just something that's always being a label always irritated me anyway. Like he can only shoot threes. He only wants to score. He can't play defense. He can't handle the ball. Like any of that is something, a motivation for you to go work on your game in the summertime and want to get better as a player overall. I've never been in this. I've been in so many situations where I'm in the gym and I see it's like I'll shoot my shots or I'm working out and I'll see coaches will come over and GMs look like, why are you doing that? Like, because I want to get better at everything. Yeah. Not just because you want me to come off and just catch and shoot. I want to get better at handling the ball. I want to get better at finishing with my left hand at the basket. Regardless if I've had a coach tell me, if you have to finish at the basket with your left hand, you made the wrong play. Like, bro, what? You know what? And then it was like, oh, he doesn't work out. It's like, no, I'll come and work out all night, opposed to sitting here and working out with y'all before and after practice, sitting here critiquing me, making me not want to be here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, okay, I'll get little shots up here and there with y'all, but other than that, I'll come in and work on my shit on my own.
And it's cool to be labeled as something elite, like an elite shooter, or be in a category that says 3-and-D, and we know that's valuable. Right. Like, most players don't like to be put in a box. And most systems, most coaches will put you in a box with the quickness. You know what I'm saying? You know what you do. When we get it, that's what we're successful. That's what we do. We're good at. That doesn't mean we can't do other things. And I know you want us to just do this and we know we need to do for our team. But a lot of people don't know that unless they see you playing pickup and someone's like, oh, I didn't know you can handle the ball. I know you can make plays, make decisions.
Right.
We all want to be known as basketball players in the day because we all were and are basketball players at the end of the day. We all played all 5 positions throughout high school and in college for those who went. So being put in a box, that is cool at times, and we understand it's elite, but we're all basketball players in the day. And a lot of people, talk their trash behind a keyboard and saying, oh, you can't dribble, you can't do this, can't do that. But I bet money anybody in this league, even though they're elite defender or can't shoot, they'll probably outshoot you. You know what I'm saying? People get on Ben Simmons, he can't shoot. He'll probably outshoot any regular civilian out there. And some other guys, they say, oh, he can't dribble. You ain't going to take the ball from him. These guys are basketball just because they're playing against the top in the world. Don't mean they can't do it. It's usually because the system wants them to do this, do that, and they know what their strong points are. But don't get it twisted. Everybody in this league can do a lot of everything.
Here for a reason.
So, JR, you have this workout back in January, but you and Dion are both a part of Clutch. So I'm wondering, after the workout's over, do you have obviously you guys were tied to a 3-team trade back in the day that brought you to Cleveland. Do you talk to him after? Do you text him? Do you have a relationship with him so therefore you can congratulate him or he reaches out to you? Or is there any type of communication after that?
No, I don't really I never really knew Dion. I always knew him in passing and stuff like that, but he was more around my brother's age. So I knew him from a standpoint of being one of the young boys. You know what I'm saying? So when he got to the league, it was always love and everything else and respect, obviously. But I never really knew him on a relationship level to, have his number and stuff like that and, texting and stuff like that. But we didn't cross paths in that sense. But I was definitely happy for him because it was more than anything, I would rather see him in that situation because it was a good fit for him. You know what I'm saying? It's just overall, regardless if it was me or him, it would be a good fit for him. And LeBron is my man, so I don't want him to fail I don't want him to, they picked him, so I want them to lose. Nah, they never going to be that.
We're back to what we were talking about before, and they always have you and Dion I guess sometimes the media makes a big deal, sometimes they don't, and they make it as like you guys are rivals. And they also have a perception of you and Dion. And so a lot of times it's not in your favor, and we know that. How do you handle that, the commentary, and do you think the perception, obviously I don't think it's fair, but the question is, do you think the perception is fair, and how do you handle the commentary when they're talking about certain instances or certain things?
I don't think it's fair because a lot of the stuff they judge us on is like, for one, and not just speaking for me, because obviously I had off the court issues and shit too happen for me as an individual. But most of the shit for us as athletes, they judge us off of what goes on the court or on the field. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you don't even know me, bro. Like, you just going off of what some coach or some GM said that got leaked to the press that'll drop my value so they don't pay me what I'm rightfully supposed to get at the end of the day, because that's all it's about. That's the only reason why drama and bad news comes out, because they want to drop your value. Because that's the only stigma behind it. Because if they didn't, then they would obviously give you all the praise and pay you the money that you're supposed to get. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's such a political game with it. It's like, it's messed up, but there's nothing, we're not in a position to change it. So it's like, and for me, and it's sad for me because it's, as ever since I was a young boy, I always had vets like, yo, just play the game. Like, bro, I don't know how to play the game. When I see something fucked up, I call it like, yo, that's fucked up. You're not going. I don't know how to just like look away and not. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, you're not gonna bite your tongue. You're gonna speak out with what's right and what's wrong, and how you feel.
Just the fact is, my pops always told me that. He said, you see something wrong, call it out. Because if you ain't gonna call it out, then everybody's gonna think it's okay, and they're gonna continuously do that shit. And it ain't. It ain't okay. So,
back on another subject, switching over to the basketball side of it. Got a chance to scrimmage today. How'd your body feel physically? How'd you feel out there?
Man, I felt great, man. It was just the first, it's always like the first 2-3 minutes you get winded, and once you catch that second wind, it's over. So.
And I saw you look good. You was running. I was like, oh, he looks in pretty good shape. So my question to you was, obviously we had the pandemic, we had quarantine, and you had some time off. How did you keep yourself physically ready, to for this opportunity, for this moment, to have a good foundation to where you're not so far behind the 8 ball, have a good foundation of having some conditioning?
Man, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I bought a bike, right, and it's like it's one of these real fancy bikes. It was 11 grand. My mother cursed me out like, you ain't even gonna ride this thing. You better ride this one. I'm like, all right, ma. So I was already like just running because I had a goal that I keep seeing Ray Allen on Instagram. He's like my inspiration behind all my workouts and shit. I started running. I was like, I'm gonna get to 5 miles. But in the midst of all of that, before I can get to 5 miles, I buy this bike. So I ended up buying the bike, and I was riding. Because I live in Hollywood, so I was riding from Hollywood to Santa Monica to Manhattan Beach, all the way up to the Pacific Palisades, and then back home twice a day. And then between that and then hooping, working out, it was just like, the weight just shredded off me. I lost like 20 pounds ASAP, and I switched my diet to plant-based for like 4 or 5 months, and I've just been feeling, great ever since.
Wow, your energy is different. You can tell in your energy with the diet.
For sure. I kind of fell off of it a little bit. I got kind of a snack room right now. But I'm trying to get these cars back because I'm getting pushed around a little bit. So
yeah, that's what's up though. The bikes are expensive though, man. I just had to buy 3 bikes. Big shout out to Tori, man. He's been doing the Black Lives Matter bike rides. Been dope. So I did a couple of those, and I just got my bikes too, man. And somebody just got me for them the other day. We bought 3 of them. Mind you, they were a little cheaper than yours, but the cheapest ones are like a stack. You're gonna pay at least a stack or 2 per bike. So they took 3 bikes out of my garage, man. So 5K down the drain that fast. But biking is good, man. It's a lot of fun. It's dope, especially if you have a group with you and nice, people around you. Yeah,
for sure.
It's smooth. It's good on the knees and the bones.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but big shout out to our mutual friend Tori for those who are listening or watching. It's called Bike Rides for Black Lives on Instagram. Just last week, they went from Hollywood to Venice Beach, to Santa Monica Pier, and then back to Hollywood. And I believe they'll be doing again in the next couple weeks. I think Big Sean was actually there this past week, and I know Danny was there the first time, and Usher and Terrell Owens on top of just the community. So get a good workout in and do it for a good cause, for sure. Bike Rides for Black Lives on Instagram. Sure.
But moving into the bigger picture, because obviously basketball's great, man, but there's obviously some more bigger things happening in the world. The bigger picture for us and our families and our communities is the movement, right? So, when the protests were happening in LA, you were there, correct?
Yeah. And shoot from my house.
Yeah, so you were kind of a part of it. So I guess what was it like to be a part of it? And what do you think as a group here, what we can do, like what can we get done? What can we do? And what kind of accomplishments that we can still keep the movement going and helping our communities?
I mean, it was an unbelievable experience, man. Actually peacefully protesting and feeling like your voice is heard with a group who all feel very passionate about the same goal and same movement is it was very inspiring, and it was very moving for me because I'm a person who has very little. I didn't grow up like in a church home, so it's not like I have a faith, but it's very different from a lot of people who went through that, who go through that as a childhood. So my faith is different in what I believe in people, how I believe in people. But it's crazy because I play on a team, and when it's such a team game, so you got to come together. So it's but for me, it's like, it's so surreal because history was my favorite subject growing up in school, and I used to see the Martin Luther Kings, the Malcolm X's, and the marches, and to actually be a part of it, something like that, or quote unquote supposedly bigger, it was something I would love to tell my grandkids about. But for the movement here, I don't know, bro. It's so much. I feel like it's so much we can change. There's so much we have to do. I don't know if we have. I just don't know if we can get it done. And the scariest thought, because at the end of the day, the biggest thing in our world, I think the biggest problem is we have our class issues. Our upper class doesn't care about the middle or lower class. So their issues and their problems aren't the same. So when you come to the table and you have these meetings and you have all of that has to go out the window. And until everyone is willing to do that, nothing's gonna change, because if you can't sacrifice, then there's never gonna be a change or an end goal.
For sure. We had Stephen A on a couple of days ago, man. He had some great ideas that he wanted me to bring to the table. And when we have a chance to, they're supposed to set up where the breakfast spot is with Three Bridges. They're supposed to have a little area for us to be able to go there and discuss different things. But we do have to come united on the front, use our platforms the best we can. The biggest thing is to get everybody and our people in our communities to vote. But we can, so we can use our platforms to the best of our ability, and use our resources to help those. It's hard to do it while we're in a bubble, but we can still use our voices.
We also have to tell them to locally vote, not just to vote for presidential. We have to win the local votes, because at the end of the day, if we don't win the local votes, then we can't change the fact that our family members or friends are getting 30, 40 years for, petty crimes that other people aren't doing, or getting probation for in other neighborhoods around the world. And, that's just a part of a piece of the injustice for us. So we must encourage people to locally vote as well.
For sure, but I think we can get some stuff done, and I'm positive right now. We have some time. We come together. As long as we stay united, I think we'll be all right. I think we can get our voices heard and use our platforms in the right way. And I think a lot of people are not losing focus of it, not losing sight of it, I think is the biggest key. Because after a while, things kind of fade and people lose sight of things. But if we keep reiterating, like people like Toronto having the Black Lives Matter bus, they have the shirts, Black Lives Matter, and us can reiterate it in our interviews and in our platform. I think that's the most important thing at this point.
Yeah, keeping the conversation going for sure. We have to take action. There's something we have to start moving. Like one of my things were one of my thoughts were for we could have I'm pretty sure in Orlando or surrounding area there's a all black restaurant that can cater other than Del Frisco's or something like that has pretty good food or something like that we can help some type of way to help the community that towards the community some kind of way, just small things like that is just it's just so it's beneficial to people who need it because I'm pretty sure everybody's obviously not doing great. So
guys, the one thing that makes me happy about what's been happening so far is just the progression of the coverage of the protest and how people are actually protesting. JR, I remember that first weekend, I believe that was in the Fairfax area because that's the same area where I live. And there was a bunch of craziness happening, a lot of violence, a lot of intensity was happening. And the protests are still going on. They're not covered as much by the media because nothing bad is happening out of them as much, but they're still going and the conversations are continuing. And I continue to see, and I think you guys can all attest to this, one of the most encouraging things that you saw in the beginning weekends of those protests was it wasn't just African Americans. It was people of all shades, from all backgrounds. So hoping that can continue and hoping that you guys can help move the discussion forward and move actions forward while you're down there and come up with some legit plans or at least be the voice box for the people who don't have a large enough voice, unfortunately. But JR, let's talk about go back to 2016. You win the finals then. What did that mean to you? And then Danny, if you could, and you, JR, as well, can you envision what a 2020 title would mean for you specifically, JR, and Danny follow up?
Well, 2016, that chip was like, for me, I mean, the winning the chip period was like, the icing on the cake from making it to the league to having a successful, quote unquote, successful career to, winning the championship. That's always been, the childhood dream since you were a kid, since you picked up the ball, going to camps and doing all of for me, all of that kind of, rolled back into one because basketball has been obviously surrounded all of our lives. So I thought about the camps. I thought about how many times I used to go back out in the court and shoot and, in the dark, I used to go play with the older dudes. They used to beat me up playing and shit like that. My brothers. I used to think about, I literally thought I had all of that hit me when the buzzer hit. And then I thought about my parents, how many times they used to take me to practice and all of that shit. And sure enough, I turned around, my mom and my dad running down the stairs, crying and shit. It was just like all of that hit you at one time. You know what I'm saying? It was just the greatest feeling ever. And then the way we did it, like,
historic, man.
Yeah, man, just like being down 3-1. It's like, I'm not even gonna lie, because as a team, we was just like, when that buzzer hit over and we was down 3-1, walking to the locker room, you looking around the locker room like, yo, this shit is over, bro. Like, you can't tell me we about to do nothing like from here. Motherfuckers was looking in their lockers, people was like furious, like, and it was just like drained. We came back the next day, it was like a whole new vibe. I'm like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? It was just literally one day at a time. So then you start thinking about the fashion that you did it, what what you ate, all of that shit. I'm like, yo, I'm about to mimic this shit for the rest of my life. And then obviously you don't, but like it was a whirlwind for me. But the 2020 one, I mean, that's always been the goal, to win multiple championships. You win one, and then you try to pull off a Jordan or somebody like that and win multiple championships, and Magic and Bird and 4, 5, 6. You know what I mean? When you start dreaming, when you really thinking you can live the MJ career or have a career like Magic or somebody like that.
Word. And I think for me, and I'm not going to be selfish or stingy, man, I think I've won plenty, man. So I'm very grateful. But this one, I think, would mean a lot for the people around me, man. I think I would enjoy it more and most for historic moments of doing it for the city of LA, what they've gone through this past year. And guys like JR, who's been out of the league and then trying to prove himself that that he's belongs here, because we all know he belongs here. Dion, some other guys who never won one, Duds, some guys with great personalities who've been in the league for so long, that we've been around, respected for so long, that never got a chance to experience it. I really wanted it for them, and said for the city of LA, man, because of what Kobe and everything going through, David Stern, and this pandemic. So it would mean a hell of a lot to me. But to be a part of a historic year where stuff like this never happens, and be able to win in this type of circumstances, and also be on the history side of helping Bron win another one. Of course, everybody's going to talk about Bron and AD getting his first one. That'll be special for me to see those guys be able to celebrate and enjoy it for the guys who've never got a chance to experience it.
Me and Dwight came in together, so I got to see my boy get one, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Get one.
For sure.
Then you got 3, right?
I got 2, man. Bron took one from me. Bron took one from me, bro. It would have been nice to have a third, but I got 2. Bron would have took one from me. But moving into another movement, because this is important.
I have 3x3 too. 3x3 teams. That's tough.
It would be nice.
Not so many people can say that. That's tough.
It would be nice, man. So I'm hoping, man, we all stay healthy. We can get this done.
That would be 3 for 3 for LeBron too, by the way. If you guys win, LeBron would have 3x3 different teams. Well, 4, but it would be his 3rd team he got a title for. So
yeah, but
pretty nice career.
For sure.
So let's go back for a little bit. I want to dip back to 2000.
Yes, the last time we're going to discuss, man. We're going to get back to some high school basketball for us, for the people.
For a little bit, yeah. Take it back before the world went upside down. So back in 2000 and let's see. I want to make sure I get this right. Oh, yeah. So we got, back in 2004, JR, you were going to the McDonald's All-American game, and I believe you were committed to the University of North Carolina. You get to the McDonald's All-American game, and you go haywire. And next thing you know, instead of going to UNC, you end up going to the draft. Danny, who played in the same New York City, New Jersey metro area, ends up going to UNC, become a McDonald's All-American the next year, and ends up going to UNC. Danny, how much did JR's decision to go off of the McDonald's All-American game and go to high school, how did that impact your decision to end up going to North Carolina?
Oh, man. First and foremost, JR was a killer in high school, bro. I mean, mind you, he still is, but he do everything. And obviously, he was jumping out the gym to him. Like, every time we played, sometimes players, they used to kill us, man. So when he was going off, and I was like, he's going to Carolina, I'm like, damn, I don't think I'll ever make it there. I don't think I'll ever get recruited. And if I do go, I'll probably never play. Because if he's there, I'm definitely not going to play. We'll be behind him on the bench the whole time. But luckily, he left. He went straight out of high school, so I got an opportunity to get a scholarship or offer the next year. But I said, watching a lot of our guys from our area to be able to go off and play and do the things that they were doing and get recruited by top schools was very inspirational, man. It led me to believe like I could make an opportunity for myself, or I could, if I do well enough, I shoot well enough like JR, if I be able to work on my game and try to jump a little bit higher, I might get the same opportunity. So I was watching him going off a McDonald's game, and obviously all throughout high school what he was doing, man, I was like, shit, I got to, set my game up another level if I want to get to Carolina, because this dude is, he's 4 or 5 levels above me. I got to get up at least 2 or 3 more levels to get to where I need to go. So it was very inspiring, man, and it helped me, I guess, motivated me, to I guess get my not just my confidence level up, but my game up to the level where it needed to be.
Yeah, do you remember when you think back to that time and you potentially going to UNC? Do you have any regrets? Do you wish you kind of went back?
Yeah. Do you think you would have? Do you not say you regret anything you've done, but do you think about and wish you could spend 1 year in college if you could?
Nah. Because honestly, the only thing I never really liked college basketball. Honestly, when I was only reason why I wanted to go to Carolina because MJ went there. That was really realistically my only tie towards it because I really thought my life and my career was gonna be mimicked after MJ. So I was like, I always wanted to play college football. So once they told me I couldn't play football, I was just kind of off it.
Yeah, because most schools wouldn't let you do both. So most of the schools, that's why you're they're not really letting me do what I want when I go to school there. So it was
I think Jesse Holly was the last one they let do it. And, from Jersey. So he was I was talking to him. He was like, "Yo, he ain't gonna let you." He was like, "Nah, bro." I was like, "What?"
Football will let you do basketball. The football coaches will let you play basketball. Basketball letting you play football is less likely. You know what I'm saying? So it would have been tough. But
yeah. DG, before your follow-up question, real quick, I just want to follow one point that JR made. JR, when I know you said you thought you were going to pattern your career after Michael Jordan, I'm sure almost every basketball player did. When did you realize that MJ career arc was not the thing?
My rookie year. First day of training camp. I see when Byron Scott ran us into the ground. I see this is never gonna be that. I'm never gonna be like Mike.
I had Coach Scott too. I had Byron in Cleveland before they let me go, and his training camp is something else, man.
Bro,
a lot of conditioning. I was probably I thought I was in college. I was in the best shape of my life doing a lot of conditioning, but he was on another level with the conditioning, man. I was in great shape, even though they cut me after that. I was in great shape when I was at home. But yeah.
Bro, we won 18 games my rookie year. When I tell you, no lie, we had training camp practices the whole year.
Oh man,
that's the whole year, bro. It was game 77 in Sacramento, hard, getting taped, running easy runs and shit. I'm like, yo, bruh.
Yeah. I can imagine, bro. We
got CP. That shit was a wrap.
Yeah, slow down a little bit.
Slowed it down a little bit.
Oh man, but yeah. So now that this last couple topics that we're talking about the playoffs. Now that we're coming close to the playoff, end of the season, regular season games, and playoff time. I got a chance. I was a rookie when I played with LeBron. My first year, I didn't play much either that year, so I got a chance to see him from the sidelines. And it was 10 years ago. But put in perspective, regular season Bron versus playoff Bron for the people up close. What did you him playing with him for so many years? What was the differences that you saw that stood out the most?
The difference?
Is he more locked in? He's more intense. He don't talk to nobody. No goofing around.
Honestly, he's the same person, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. He will start reading more though.
Okay.
He will start reading more. He'll get off social media and he'll read. He will do that. But other than that, he's the same person.
Still goofing around, still cracking jokes, still.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And then on the court-wise, intensity he's pretty intense most of the regular season too, but he's locked in.
Yeah, for sure.
And is he more as a teammate? Is he more holding you more accountable, getting on? You know what I'm saying? Is he?
Oh yeah, every possession is crucial. But it's crazy because every possession is crucial, but he'll still go shoot a one-leg, one-hand shot off the glass for game. For game, though.
Yeah.
Not no end of the quarter, end of the half, for game. Like, bro, you shot that for game. Like, it's one of them highlights. And he hit, I think it was against Toronto.
Yeah. Game 3.
The one-hand joint, if you watch that shit, I just stopped and looked at him like, bro, you shot that shit for game, bro? You're bugging. Like, I'm so glad you made it. But you are bugging. You know what would happen if I shot that for game? Like, even if I could get a shot off, and that was the shot you took, oh my God. I'm so glad he's not me, but like, bro, you got guts, bro.
Yeah.
That's a tough.
That was 2018 Eastern Conference semis, I believe. Game 3 versus the Raptors in Quick Loans Arena. That killed them.
I'm not gonna lie, but that's like when I start seeing shit like that, and he do like that's one of the reasons why you can like I can have arguments with people when you talk about the greats of all time. Like, bro, ain't wasn't nobody doing that. Nobody doing that. I seen Mike hit turnaround jumpers and all that shit for game. Kobe did that shit. Yeah. Kareem was bad motherfucker with that sky hook and all that. But bro, for game.
Speaking to which,
that's tough, bro. I'm sorry. That's tough.
Yeah, so I was like, hell no. When he shot it, I was like, oh, he really made that shit.
He made that shit, like.
And they was done. They was crushed after that. So it was. I was like, yo, that broke them. That definitely broke them. They ain't.
I'm thinking he about to go to the lane, dunk or kick off or something. Not that one.
You know, JR, we talked about how the perception of people or the perception that media might give can give the wrong illusion of what the situation actually is. You talked earlier about not being afraid to speak your mind and things of that nature. How did you and your relationship with LeBron evolve? And can you describe how it was when you realized that he was approachable, that if he made a mistake on the court, you can call him out for it? Going back to your days in Cleveland, speaking to some of the people on the coaching staff, they said JR was as vocal as almost everybody else, but you just never knew because the media always portrayed just LeBron as the guy who would talk up. But from my understanding, you didn't have any problem calling him out or Kyrie or Kevin Love when the situation was appropriate.
That's it. I mean, for me and Bron, like I knew Bron since I was 14. He was 15. You know what I'm saying? Playing pickup and all that. So it was always, and people know, like when I say something on the court, it's never personal. Like I never take it, like when I'm in the heat of the game, it's never personal. It's always just the game. I'm always locked into the game. Now we're going to fight and all that. We can get to some gangster shit. I'm with that, but I'm not like it ain't nothing like I ain't just out here wilding and trying to elbow you and all that. You know what I'm saying? It's just hard play. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was always just it's easier to have those conversations instead of just feeling some type of way. Like I tell them all the time, like, bro, I'm not about to just keep running to the corner. You're gonna keep doing that. Like, I gotta get moving. I gotta cut and stand and do something. You got me just standing here. I can't get no rhythm. Like you want me to make a shot. I'm telling you. I don't work like that, bro. Like no disrespect to you. I understand you, bad motherfucker, but if you want some help from me, I need some help from you.
Yeah.
It's just a fact.
It's hard. It's not easy. A lot of people think like, you got to make that shot when you can probably sit for 6 minutes. They ain't touch the basketball.
You can run up and down the court and I'll touch that bitch for 6 minutes.
Yeah.
It ain't your fault. It's just the way of the game. And he going for 40 and 50. I'm not saying he not killing because he killing. He definitely killing.
But it's not easy. People say, you got to make those. Once you make every shot you take, mind you, so you might not have a rhythm. You might not have touched basketball in a minute. You might have dribbled it. If you don't have a feel for the ball, that ball feels like a medicine ball sometimes.
All you got to feel for is guard somebody.
Yeah. So it's different, man. But being able to speak freely to your teammates is always a great thing, man. I've learned that. Obviously, being in San Antonio, we were able to talk to each other. But when it came to talking to coaches and Pop, it wasn't like that. Pop could always talk to us, but we just had to take the criticism, keep it going. Was there ever a time where you said something to a player or a coach where it came back to haunt you?
Shit, probably a lot of times. I don't really know because I don't really pay attention to that shit, honestly. Like, people be looking at me like, and they probably be right. Like, I don't really give a fuck about what they thinking, honestly. Like, when they get there and whispering and all that shit about me, like, bro, I really don't give a fuck what you talking about. Like, because honestly, if you had a problem with me and I had a problem with you, I'll come up and tell you I got a problem with you. And then we ain't got to, because that way we ain't got no problem with not speaking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now when I could just walk in the room comfortably and not have to speak to you, or opposed to just have to speak to you just cause. No, we don't. Now we good. We both know what it is, and I can go this way and you go that way, and I ain't got to worry about something happening to me, because if it do, I already know who did it.
Is there any time where you said something about somebody's mistake, or like said to a coach, and you somehow came back, or came back to haunt you in a sense where you might have made that mistake, or you were like, "Oh, give me the ball. I was open for a shot," and then he probably gave it to you, and you know what I'm saying, didn't, I guess, come through the way that you expected to?
Oh, for sure. Shit, for sure. I tell them to pass me the ball all the time and I don't make the shot. But more importantly for me is like my main thing, I don't really care about people's shots. Like, if you just out there now, if you just out there pulling, then that's different. But for me, I don't really care about the shot. I care about the other end, because at the end of the day, if I know how hard I'm trying on the defensive end, and if I just turn around and you just standing there and your man score or something, or you just let my man score, now we got a problem. Like, bro, now you making me look bad.
Yeah.
Like, not like that's personal. Like, you just letting people walk through your front door. Like, I'm not with that.
For sure. That's definitely most important. So when you working that hard at that end of the floor, and people don't mind the shots that you take.
Yeah, go ahead, shoot all the shots. I don't care. And we scoring too? Nah, go ahead, do your thing, rock out. But on this other end, I'm gonna need that too.
Yeah, for sure. And then you expect from them as well to let you know, like you say, you telling you need to box out, and then yelling at everybody not to box out. Was there a time where you did that, and there's a play where key possession where you're like, oh shit, I fucked up, I needed to box out, I missed the box out?
Yeah, I did that on who was we playing? We were playing, I think it was Golden State. It was a big play too in the I think it was like game 3. It was game 3 at our place. Gave up a free throw rebound and a clutch, and I think Clay got they tipped it, and sure enough, because we watched it so many times, make sure y'all box out, make sure y'all box out, make sure y'all box out, and the whole game, I'm like, yo, you got here, you got there, like, you know how you see me in practice, like, yo, and then sure enough, I go in the crash, but in our scheme, it wasn't the crash, it's to stay here with him and wait. Sure enough, long rebound. I'm like, damn.
Bruh, trust me, those days haunt me too. There was the third ring that I was supposed to have. The play still haunts me to this day, man, because I always knew we had to box out, and always contest, get back into the rebound. So it was the play where Chris Bosh got the rebound and hit in the corner. And I was under there trying to box him out. He just jumped over 3 of us, got the rebound. It was that play, and there was the other play that kills me the most is because Pop, maybe he watched it over and over, and he's like, where the fuck are you going? I challenged Bron, shot one of his first threes before Ray hit it. Before Ray hit the 3, Bron had a 3. But his first attempt, I shot it, he missed it. And that year we were trained to like leak because Tim would get the rebound outlet. So I contested, and I'm kind of like trotting toward half court, and I'm like, shit, he got it back again, and he hit the 3 after that. I was like, damn. And then from that point forward, man, I was always the guy that, you know, you didn't box out, you didn't go in, you didn't crash, you didn't get the rebound. And I was like, shit, a lot of that weight was on me while we lost in 2013, because if we would have just got one rebound, one box out, and stopped one of those possessions, shit, we could have had another ring. And I was in the conversation of damn near winning, you know, finals MVP at that point. So
sure, because you were shooting shit out the ball, bro.
Man, that still haunts me to this day, bro. But bro, man, appreciate your time, bro.
You ended it on a real sad note, Danny. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
Could have been finals MVP. All right, goodbye.
Go ahead. Follow up with your last good note. Follow up with your last good note, and then we out of here.
No, I don't have any. I just wish y'all well. How about that? I'm just having fun with it. Yeah, I'm just having fun with it.
So we saying read, rate, subscribe, review. We doing
something
all
like that.
appreciate your time, Swish, man. Much love, man. Letting the fans get to know you. Obviously, you've done a bunch of these. Appreciate you jumping on our show. For those watching, please, read, rate, subscribe, review, all that shit. Inside the green room. Harrison will give y'all the taglines of where y'all need to do all of that.
There's no more taglines, man. All I know is that I was in Cleveland that year that JR won the NBA title. People were passed out outside because downtown Cleveland was packed. Had a chance to see Danny win it last year. It'd be cool to see y'all win it together.
Yeah, so
hope y'all can do that.
Supposed to be our good luck charm, man. He's always been the guy that's somehow everywhere he covers the team, they end up going to the finals somehow. So he covered Ja when y'all went to the finals every time. He covered us in Toronto. We went to the finals, and hopefully this year he doesn't fuck it up. But once again, man.
Well, they're gonna have to let me in the bubble. I can't hold my end of the bargain if they don't let me in the bubble.
We'll
so
see.
You want to pay for my room?
We'll see, man. If it works, I'll pay for the room.
You got 7-day quarantine.
Yeah. No, so I'll cover the room if we win. If we don't win, you got the bill, bro.
Okay.